All right, welcome back to Just Kicking It. We are back. The international break. It wasn't too much to talk about. Before we even jump in. Let's jump into the U.S. State team real quick before we jump into the Premier League being back in the Champions League. What's going on with USA team, man?
Man, they look a little discombobulated. You know, a lot of moving parts. You know, you got the youth movement. I see some flashes, but I don't see the continuity. I don't know what the style of play is. I mean, it's just a lot of question marks for me. What about you?
Yeah, it just felt like it's like discombobulated. Like it's so many questions all over the field. Like it's even down like not even starting, who's even making the squad. It's probably like like at least 12 spots up for grabs that you could just put them in a bag and just throw them out.
Right.
And you're going to make it. I mean, they don't even know who the number one keeper is. There's 3 keepers.
Yeah, that's a real problem. And no stability. You know what I mean? At least you want that spine, or at least the back line. You know what this looks like, and then you kind of interchanging. It's very rough, man. I don't like this when you leading up to a World Cup and you see other countries, like you know what Portugal's bringing. You know what Belgium's bringing. Like, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it,
France is rolling out everybody. Like they have the opposite way. They can put a whole bunch of people in the bag and throw them out, and it's all gold. Like,
right.
I mean, you can have a situation. I mean, France, when their drop players could probably still qualify for the next round. Like the players they don't add to the squad, they can make a squad of them.
No, you're right, and they're not even on a full blown youth movement. You know what I mean? So no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So man, so let's get into Premier League, man. Manchester City is a problem, dog.
Hey,
like, they are a real problem.
I told you out of the gates that this thing could get very ugly, man. And listen, I still got the game up on my TV right now. I didn't even watch the second half.
We put up 3 goals.
Oh, y'all did? Y'all come back and put up? Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
It was one to be interested until then Haaland said, "Fuck all that. I'm going to get this hat trick real quick."
I figured he was going to get it. But again,
Foden got one.
Oh, man. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
hey, and that's another thing that you bringing up Foden's name, man. I was kind of out on him. I wasn't really understanding all the hype around him, but I see it now. What do they call him?
I was like, why are you letting Raheem Sterling go for Foden? Like that was my thing. Like, well, it's more for Grealish, I guess, more, but still, like, what do y'all like? I still don't understand the Grealish situation at all with them.
He's like the most foul player in the Premier League, and you see he's getting yellow cards on people like a minute and a half.
He got the one on the low.
Quick, fast. Hey, that was another thing,
he should be a midfielder. I don't know what Pep is just because Foden's a midfielder in general. Remember on FIFA before he was a midfielder.
Right. Now he's almost like a center forward. They called him I like this, the Iniesta of Stockport. That kind of makes a lot of sense because I mean he's just an all-around attacker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't know he was gonna be this good, to be honest.
Me neither. No,
like if you'd have told me like 2 years ago who'd been better, Greenwood or Foden, I would have said Greenwood
easily at that time. Easily, but listen, man, that just shows the greatness of Pep. That shows you know.
Yeah, I mean. And Haaland is a problem, though. Like he's a problem. Like this is the perfect situation for him to be in. Any other club they wouldn't get the utilization of him like this.
Right. Again, we talk about this all the time. The quality of the service at Manchester City is what sets them apart from the rest of the league. And like you're saying, to your point, he survives on service. I mean, you just the perfectly weighted balls from De Bruyne on that back post. I mean, come on, man. And he's sliding, falling down, but you can just see the focus, the concentration, even on bouncing balls, putting it in the back of the net, man. I mean, his focus is unmatched as a striker in the Premier League. Physicality.
Is he going to break the record, you think? You think he's going to break the record?
Wow, what they say on pace for 62 goals or something like that? That's incredible. Listen, I won't bet against it at this point.
I mean, technically, he would have 2 records to break. Because the one hole by share is for 42 games.
Oh, okay.
And when the Premier League came across, it went to 38.
Right.
So Salah has the Premier League record.
I see.
But the English record is shared with 42.
Right.
Or 41 or whatever.
Man, I think that listen, it looks full steam ahead. I mean, if he has all of his support players, you know, De Bruyne doesn't get hurt or something like that, and even what's the other one? Gudigan. That on that free kick, they missed that free kick, but I mean, having them two guys standing over the ball in
I
them
mean,
kind of
if De Bruyne goes down,
situations,
there'd still be a problem. I don't
hey,
like they would have to lose like 4 or 5 people. Like for me to like
really,
really think he ain't gonna break the record.
and then even that defender, what was I'm not even familiar with them. Kianji.
No, I was just gonna bring that up. Who is he? I mean, I looked him up. I mean,
Where did he come from?
But I was like, hold on, who is this dude?
Man, dude is a beast.
I'm like, and they didn't even start their 2 best center for. I mean, the 2 center backs. It was Aki and Benji.
Yeah,
I'm calling
they're
them Benji
so
now.
deep, man. They're almost like 3 deep at every position. It's incredible.
Dude, when their subs came in, I was like, damn, they do have Alvarez. Damn, I forgot all about Mahrez.
Right.
Damn, like,
right. It's incredible, man.
Like, real talk, where's financial fair play at this point? Like, if we can't, if he beats this record and smashes it with 60 goals, we really need to have a discussion about this financial fair play.
Absolutely agree with that. And in the off season, if they reload again,
if they get Jude Bellingham for that 120 mil, stop it. No,
something got to give. if they have another transfer window, I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna do my own
Calvin Phillips on the bench doing nothing.
Nothing.
He would be starting for any other squad. He's doing nothing.
100%, man.
Like, we got to talk about this, man, at some point. Like, that we have to say, like, hey, Manchester City is deliberately going out and spending money that is above and beyond.
Listen, you know how FIFA is, man. There's going to be some kind of scandal where FIFA leadership, the Premier League leadership, somebody's getting paid on the back end, because this is obvious. I mean, Ray Charles can see this and he blind and dead. That this is a problem. You know what I mean?
If all our listeners, just go look at their roster. And everyone is on their international team. Everyone.
Like a starter, a bona fide starter on their international team.
And some of them are on the bench.
Yeah. It's
Think about it. Goodigan didn't start because Rodri was hurt. Stop. What are we doing?
That's how they started off the broadcast. And I'm like, dude, this dude is an absolute menace himself.
And like, Rodri's out. Goodigan's gonna take his place. Man. And it was more like, oh yeah, he's got. What do you mean? He's the best player in the Turkish team. Like,
really, super dangerous. That's what I'm saying. When I had him and De Bruyne over a free kick, I could see why De Gea's just like, pick your poison. You know what I mean? How do you want to slice and dice this?
Like, it was just bad, man. It was showing how much we definitely weren't there. Definitely gonna win the league.
Yeah, let's talk about some of your players, man. I got some notes on just.
I mean, did you see the Anthony's goal?
I didn't catch. No, when I stopped watching 4-0.
He's a gunner, definitely. Okay. But it's like he does special stuff though. It's almost kind of like, so like if you see the goal, he comes. So if this is the setup here, he comes. He does deke somebody, comes out and then hits a left boot. Literally went past Ederson. Ederson was like, fuck. Like, I'm talking literally curved and went in. Like, and it didn't make no sense why he even took the shot, to be honest. It was literally like just like throwing up a 3 from like half court.
Yeah, you know, some of them dudes just have that knack for the spectacular, and he fits that.
And Ederson came over to him and was like, damn, you know, they countrymates. He's like, damn, like,
yeah.
You ain't have to do me like that. I wanted to get this clean sheet.
And listen, you try to go to the positives, but I mean, let's talk about the negatives. McTominay is not a Manchester United quality player.
No. This was all. I mean, this is the plan to expose, because everybody was saying McTominay's playing so well. We don't need the Casemiro. Like, I was like, cool. Let's go ahead and I think that's what he was doing. Like, you know, keeping the hot hand. You know, that whole perspective. Like, all right, I'm gonna roll him out here. No problems. Casemiro's gonna be playing from here on out. Everyone has seen the exposure that I've seen already. Let's just get it over with.
Yeah, well, Casemiro he can check that off the list, because that damn for sure happened. And then, man, I was just thinking of you when they took off Varney and Lindelof came on. I said, oh shit.
Well, you know what? Lindelof isn't bad. I have a big apology to Lindelof. Harry Maguire was your issue. No,
this is a 180.
180, man. Because I thought about, like, every other center back that plays when has to cover his area and looks bad because he can't cover his area.
But remember when Harry Maguire got signed, he was the best defender in England.
I don't know what happened. He literally says, I only have this square block. This is what I do. Y'all cover the whole other side of the field.
Right.
And he started reading his own clippings, I think, too, as well.
I think so.
Like, I'm the captain. Like, wish no way we should have made him the captain off the bat.
So quickly, he got the big payday. And, yeah, a lot of the guys, they lose the fire. You know.
Yeah, so but Varane, I wonder if Varane wouldn't have got hurt if Haaland would have got crazy like that.
Because he did get
there was another big body that can bang with you.
Right. Well, what about your wing backs, man? They got cooked as well. I mean, they didn't have no answer for City on the wings.
Man, you talking about Delo and I think Malacia, he got exposed because he's young, and he got exposed, like straight up exposed. Like
it showed you where for him, pace is not enough. He was living on pace.
Yep.
And they exposed that lack of experience.
Yes, life experience. I mean,
and it doesn't help when he has McTominay not, covering, not shading. It doesn't help. It don't help.
Right. Because I mean, when you bring in a Casemiro, you can maybe lax up a little bit,
Yeah.
And being at Man City, the problem is more for Manchester United is that Man City is starting to get more fans in Manchester.
Oh, yeah.
There's kids that are growing up now that are so we won't see this backlog of fandom for another 10 years because there are 8-year-olds right now that are City fans.
Absolutely. Diehards. And they're going to grow up and remain that way. And, the other priceless moment during the match, and I think you should use it as the thumbnail, was Fergie's face sitting there. Did you see that? Sir Alex Ferguson, man, that face he was making, man, it was like he wanted to just vomit. You know what I mean?
But it wasn't. But the thing is, I don't even put this on Ten Hag. This is just gonna happen, G. Like it's just the pieces we have. You could have put me and you as a manager. Anybody, Fergie with the quality out there would have got rolled.
Yeah. Did Ronaldo come on in the second half?
Hell no.
Okay, I didn't think he
ain't coming out for that.
I didn't think he would.
He didn't even take off his jacket.
No, for what? I mean, listen.
He didn't take off his jacket.
It was game, set, match. Yeah, man.
Yeah, so no, it was a bad showing, man, overall, but I wasn't thinking we was gonna win that game.
Listen, a lot of clubs are gonna have the same fate as you guys, so don't feel too bad.
No, I mean, didn't they? I mean, they put up like 6 on Crystal Palace after they were up like 3-0. Remember, like a couple of weeks ago, and ran out 6 goals in the second half. Like ran up 6 goals.
Yeah.
So I mean, Aston Villa is the only one that kind of really pushed them. Don't know how that happened. I don't know if they went drinking the night before. Like what was going on background, because there's no way that Aston Villa should have pushed them.
No. Shit, man. You never know. They might have had some money on the match.
Talk about, man, what's going on with Liverpool, man?
Wow. I just Sadio Mane comes to mind, just
we were the only podcast saying this Sadio Mane thing when he leaves, y'all in a big time problem. We even had Rick. Remember Rick came on the club or Reese.
we need to get him back on so he can do some splaining.
Yeah, because Sadio Mane was everything. He played D. He gave you pace. He was giving service. He literally his side of the field, he could be on lock. He's like a double defender.
Exactly. And he freed up Salah. He took pressure off Salah where you could not focus on him. And I think that's another thing where now you can kind of focus a little bit more, and then some of their new players haven't really settled yet, hit the ground running. You know what I mean? But I think they'll still be there though when it's all said.
But you can't count them out. I'm just saying like
it feels like they've regressed. They've taken a large step backwards.
Yeah, and I'm interested what if they try to do anything in the transfer market. They've been.
I think they're going to have to. Where now they kind of the ownership is going to have to say, yeah, we gotta splash the cash. We can't do this on the cheap.
Yeah, I mean they talking about Jude Bellingham, but Jude Bellingham talking about 120 mil. They talking about 120 mil for him because they ain't got no clause in his contract. Like it's whatever we feel like. It's whatever we feel like.
They got some reloading to do, man.
So I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, man. How you feeling about your new manager, man, and how that's shaking out?
It's still very early. I hear a lot of fans, man, who they're not buying in. They're kind of anti-Potter already, straight out of the gate. Even Chrissy, fan of the show. She's
anti-Potter.
straight out of the gate. Wants nothing wants nothing to do with him. I'm still on the fence. I'm kind of watch and see, but I'm not sold. You know,
I mean, he ain't been on the job yet. He barely didn't finish his application. Like,
yeah, but it's rough when they bring you in and people don't can't stand on your resume. You know, your resume doesn't support it.
Or do you think it'd have been better or different if it was the offseason that this move was made, where you kind of had time to be in the training grounds? You just thrown in the fire, like,
yeah,
this is what we got. Like, you can't no adjustment.
It basically showed us that, hey, the season is what it is because for all the points you're making, you didn't give him opportunity to settle. You didn't give him opportunity to put in his system. So how do you really judge the results?
I mean, do you judge that his team is still in fourth in the league? Like, that his former team Brighton is, like,
man,
even though it's got to the shoe's got to drop at some point.
You would think so.
I mean, you would think so, but
time will tell.
Until it does, we can't say anything. I mean,
yeah,
it's just, I mean, I don't know. And it's interesting seeing where kind of the table is right now. Like, Wolves dropped their manager.
Mm-hmm.
Rodgers is on, I call it yesterday's game, Battle of the Bastards, between Nottingham Forest and Leicester City, because that's supposed to be a rivalry. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah. And he's definitely
so I the Battle of the Bastards. And
speaking
he was like for his job yesterday.
Speaking of Rodgers, you think he survives? I think he's done, man.
You think so? The next loss, he's out. So he's got to keep winning to keep his job. Like, literally, the next loss, he's out.
I bet he does not make it to Christmas.
Damn.
Yeah. Yep.
So okay, so we got the break. The World Cup break is what, mid-November?
Yeah, early mid-November. Yeah.
So okay, it's more than enough time. It's more than enough time.
Yeah,
thinking about
it can happen.
It's more than enough matches. I'm trying to see how he can survive.
And I think that you probably do it before the World Cup so that the new manager has that time to settle. That's another motivator to pull the trigger if you don't like.
Leicester's still in drop zone. Like, that was their first win yesterday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Think about it. Like, and look at their roster.
Should be doing much better, man. Much better.
I mean,
and I hope they have a fire sale because I'm real big on
fire sale. There's a lot of cats on there.
Yeah, Gaka, the young Zambian forward, man. I would love him to come to our club.
I mean, Madison's gonna fall somewhere great. Tielemans is gonna fall somewhere all right. Barnes will be okay. Like, everybody gonna be okay. Right. When it's fire. That's the only reason I want them to drop is to get their players.
Hey, and then Schmeichel looks very, very smart getting the hell out of there. Like, he knew something we ain't know, you know? He got out of there.
And he went to Nice. He was like, who's just available? Like, I'll figure this out in the back end.
Yeah.
I'll figure this out in the back end. Like, let me get to Nice. I'll go somewhere else. I'll come back after a year there, you know, doing what I can, you know. But it's an interesting season so far, man. Let's jump around a little bit before we get out of here. Champions League, how you feeling about it so far, man, with your club? And
it's been a fun watch. And we got some matches going on right now, actually. That I need to check out. But yeah, man, things have been kind of up and down, kind of all over the place. You know what I mean? A few surprises here and there. You know, what are your thoughts on it so far?
I mean, man, it's really, but I think it's going to be damn near a rematch again if they don't shake it out between Man City and Real Madrid. It's just, I mean, we'll see how the brackets show if the fix is in, if they end up on opposite sides.
Yeah,
because I don't think PSG is. It's just I don't understand Mbappe's move to even stay there because it didn't make sense. Like, I ain't saying come to my club, and I'm just saying, like, you need to just go somewhere else where it was more better competition.
Right. You know, a lot of these guys, they'll get very comfortable being the big fish in the small pond, you know.
But you're never going to win the Champions League, though. You're never going to be ready for the big games.
Hey, 300,000.
And then you're going to get hurt. What's going to happen is all those African brothers that's trying to grind in that French league, that's going to be diving at cats, trying to get their check, and going to blow one of his ACLs out.
Hey, you hate to say things like that, but that's true, especially when your game is predicated on pace. That's all you need. Tear ACL, knee injury, and like you're saying, when you have those lower level players, I mean, all they can bring to the table is physicality to try to stop you, and that becomes a disaster. But you know, those referees, man, he's the cash cow. Those referees are gonna try to protect him. They're gonna have to protect him
because they know the whole league. Their actual check depends on
Yes.
Mbappe's success.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Hey, that's real talk. Like
No.
literally, that one player is feeding our league.
Right.
Like I can't get a raise next year if I don't. Well, man, this was a quick one for everybody. We'll be back next week with more. We might try to bring it. I'm gonna holler at Rick, see if he can do some explaining next week about this Liverpool situation. Yeah, and we'll be back next week. We want to give you a little quick one. So, all right, y'all.
Peace.